to guide us on how to live our life perfectly, such that we'll be happy here and we'll be happy thereafter. One of the guidance that's given to us, which is the Sunnah, is marriage. Of course, we know one of the things that makes life to be happy, to make life to be enjoyable, that all these are just 50%. Your marriage itself is 50%. Now, managing this 50%, if you can manage it well, then that means you have scored a pass mark. Then you can complement with the rest. So we ask Allah to bless our homes. One of the reasons that can make us live an amiable life, because we have understood that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have said, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنَ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لَقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. In Quran 30, ayah 16, 17. So that's one of the signs of Allah, is that He has created a partner for us among ourselves.
No.
A partner like looks like you.
No.
A spouse that suits your nature. Not a spouse from generations or from tribes or from species which are not like yours. That is why a man cannot marry a jinn.
No.
It's not a species. You are a mankind. She's a jinn kind. You can't marry a jinn. A man cannot marry an animal. Either it's a male or female.
No.
Because it's not your species, it's not your gene, it's not your kind. So you marry from that one that's your kind, that will be suitable to you, that will look like you, that will be amenable to you, that will be loving to you. So that you live into each other. And why do we have to live together? So that there will be mercy among you. There will be love and affection among you.
Yeah.
But there are some factors that can actually affect this bliss,
No.
this happiness, these joys. There's something that truncates them, don't make it work well. They are natural, they must be there, but how do you manage it? And learning to manage it is one of the important aspects of marriage, and that's why you call it a man, that's why a woman, that's why you are matured. And what is that? Hunger. How do you manage hunger in marriage? Relationship. We are two different people. You're a male, you're a female. The mentality of a male most of the time is different from that of a female.
No.
How she reasons, how you think. Some are emotional than the other. Some act on the moment.
No.
Some have the ability to ponder and reflect and digest before they respond. Some just give it as it comes. This brings problems in marriages. They must be there. There's no way you can do it. Even you and your father, you and your mother, you and your brother, you and your sisters.
No.
As long as you're a human being. The nature, we are different. So how do we handle the situation when it comes? So we're talking of the management of hunger in marriages. Allah has referred to hunger in many parts of the Quran, and they have seen that because they're there, it has to be managed. It must be there between you. That is why Allah tells us in Surah Al-Imran, وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ
No.
وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ. Those who swallow the anger. Anger must come. Anger is an emotional reaction. It's a reaction to something.
No.
It's emotional. It's in the system. It's a reaction to something. How do you react to it? Allah says, definitely you have it. But what happened? Al-Kadhimin again, when it comes, this rage, this annoyance, when it comes to you, when things unpalatable comes from your partner, it must definitely come. How do you react to it? Kadhimin al-Gaid. Those who can swallow that rage. Allah said, those people, Allah loves them. While afin an-nas, not only swallowing, after swallowing, you overlook. Allah yubul muslimin. I love those who are righteous, who are doing good. So Allah is talking again. Tell again in Surah I think another chapter is talking to us again about that. In Surah Shura, Quran 46, Allah tells us again there. الذين يجتنبون كبائر الإثم والفواحش وإذا ما غضبوا يغفرون. Those who run away from big sins, and when they are hurt, when they are offended by their spouses, by their partners, by their fellow human beings, or this, they forgive. So today, brothers and sisters, what you want to look at is hunger. It's a question. Do you get angry? Do you get angry?
Yes, I do.
You do get angry.
Yes, I do.
Everybody gets angry.
Yes.
Does your wife get angry?
Yes, she does.
She doesn't get angry. What are your children?
They do.
Even Allah, He gets angry.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can get angry, then who is it that will not get angry? Everybody must get angry. When something unpalatable, unexpected, what you don't like comes to you, you get angry. Especially from somebody you don't expect to come from. Something comes out of disappointment. Oh, I'm disappointed at you. You get angry at it. But how do we manage it? So marriage is emotional, and it's a feeling of displeasure, of not happy, displeasure. Does not do what you expect, does not fulfill what you're expecting to do for you. Maltreatment. Sometimes this you get opposition. I said do this, you do that one. All this is cause anger, and usually this thing has to be expressed. That feeling in you that you're not satisfied, that you are hurt, that you are displeased, has to be expressed. It's emotional. So the expression of this no satisfaction is called anger. So now it depends on how it is being managed. This anger is being managed. So therefore, we have the kind of anger. Anger is natural. Anger must be in human being, but there are different ways in which they are being expressed. And this anger itself, we have different types of anger. Let's look at it this way first, or that way. So those who have bipolar, it is born in them. They're just all the time, they're just angry. Without no cause. Every time you just see fire in the face. That's what the Messenger of Allah says. If you want to look young all the time, smile. You want to look old, always be hungry. Somebody that's angry, how does his face look? He frowns his face, or the cheeks, all of them come. So he's angry. So he looks too old very early. You see a man of 30 years, 40 years, looking like 60 years, 70 years old. Because he's always frowning his face. So there's wrinkles develop early enough. Wrinkles develop early enough in his lifetime because of the anger. That's it. But somebody that smiles all the time, laughs all the time, how does he look?
Very.
What does be looking amiable, looking happy, looking younger all the time? These bipolar people, they are just naturally hungry people. Every time you hardly see them smile, they just frown their face. Every time. It is natural in them. There's virtually nothing anybody can do about it, except they work on it themselves. It's like somebody that's writes with the left hand. He's born with it, right? If he wants to try to write with the hand, what does he do? He has to train himself. against that writing with the left hand. Sometimes some people are there natural, they are naturally, sad in nature. They are naturally unhappy. So such people, they are always be irritated by any slightest things. You just look at it. Why are you looking at me like that? Why do you match me? Why don't you put this thing here? Why you put this thing? Every time that is their nature. Some people are like that. And that is why we talk about the marriage compatibility. We watch, we study the nature of persons before you go into it. Some are hereditary. Anger can be hereditary, right? Some is in their nature. The nature of the father has it. You see, the grandfather has it. So the children likely to have it too. Or the mother is always angry, nagging. When you talk to them, he cannot reply you gently. If he wants to reply, he must shout. He must react. Such a person, it is hereditary. So most likely, the children may have it. They may inherit it from their parents. So sometimes anger can be hereditary. There's one particular hormone called OG. Together to make love. After that, everybody must sleep separately. They can't cope sleeping with somebody. They can't cope sleeping with somebody. Another person's body cannot touch their body. They just like to be alone. They want to make love, they come, they make love. After that, everybody goes their way. They just turn their side against each other, or they stay at two extremes, or different rooms. So that's what my father used to do. That's what my mother used to do. That's what my grandfather used to do. So that's hereditary. It flows in them. So this kind of things need to be understood and accept, so that you can know how to handle your partner. You have to know what kind of anger is that partner having. Is it natural in him or her? Is it the way his parents have been doing it, which means it's hereditary? That is why we discuss, when you say when you want to look for a partner, you look at the nasab, the home where it comes from, the progeny. You need to look at it, because those attributes that his parents have, is likely to have it, or she's likely to have it. So if you don't want that, then you have to learn, or if you know from the onset, oh, this is their nature, or in our nature we get angry, but this is how you handle also. Or this is important to know at the onset. Sometimes anger can be environmental, can be caused by environment where a person is raised. We have the kind of environment. We have the physical, we have the social, we have the economic. So all this can affect the way somebody reacts, the way your spouse behave. Why is she always angry? Why is he always angry? You need to know why, because if you don't know why, there's no way you can handle it well. So sometimes it's environmental. Environmental is it can be social. The way they have been brought up, the parents, their bringing level, the parents, the area, the environment where they have been brought up. Maybe somebody that's brought up in the area that's always noisy, they always shout, they always fight there. They're the street boys. If there's any argument, they settle their difference with fight. They settle their difference with shouting, with making noise. That's the environment where it's been brought up. That person is likely to have that kind of behavior in him, because that's where it's brought up from. That's why some people say, no, my jagbota, ajegule, ṣe lọ sọ́kọ́ tí mo sọ báyìí sí oríṣiríṣi ọmọ ibi tó bá ti bí oníkálukú ó likely kó affect kéde,
kó affect ìṣesí
ẹ̀ bó ṣe ń bínú. Àdúgbò wọn bí tó ti gbé yẹn báyìí tó bá tẹ̀ ní tí o máa já ni àkínú ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ dàrú ni láti ṣe wọ́n ní ìdájọ́ wà pariwo. So if that same person marries, bó ṣe máa ṣe náà nìyẹn, except ẹ bá ṣe rehabilitate ẹ tó bá lọ fún therapy, that kind of person can change. So that kind of thing they happen. I mean, they say they happen. It happen well. Go to Ajegule, go to what do you call them? Which area again? Go to what is it? Dr. Ebua bin Agege, I will never talk again. So go to all this kind of area. Go see. They settle differences with fight. So kind people, what they gonna do every time? When you have low self-esteem, you always want to be on the defensive all the time. You want to feel that people are riding you. So every time you want to defend yourself. Yeah, don't call so kind of thing to the big problem. So it cause anger. So if you're the kind of person this is where you come from, you will know how to handle such people. You know, so that the same thing could be economic. Economy they cause harm. Abi?
No.
Man when they work, where salary can't come down, or they can't second for work. You can't come home. Why? Because what do you go see?
The anger.
Maybe anger. He has fella got sick at one time. You see, the person which landlord they just sack for work. Landlord come say, give me your rent. What did they look for? The palava. What do they search for? They just sack for work. The landlord come say, my friend, give me your rent. That all the anger, where I go vex am? No, the man. So anger. So economy can cause it. Economic situation. Most of the problems that society have problems today is lack of money. If the man don't get money, he will give the wife, and the wife they ask for this, the wife they ask for that one. Every time he will just be like a madman, angry all the time. His face will just red all the time. Will come with Ogboju. Broke himself.
Sakamaje.
Sakamaje. You see, you just come with Sakamaje. Ogboju like you just come. Go bone face. You come with bone face. You come with bone face. Then you come. So that when you fall in the first attack, before you give that, you don't give an attack.
You don't calculate them.
You don't calculate and say this one go has before you ask him now. Now first who put this one here? Who put this one here? Because you know say who has something. Before you ask your own, don't put it all down. So hunger. Why is hungry? Economic. So all these kind of things can cause anger. So if we know that, we know how to, so deprivation. So cause inadequate means of sustenance. You get problem. The salary is 60,000 or 50,000, 100,000. You get problem of maybe to meet up a bill of 300,000 every month. I go do am. So always complaining. Why is gas finish? Gas don't finish. Which time we go buy gas now? Don't finish now. What happened? Water don't finish. What happened?
Now they drink am.
What happened? They drink gas. What the oil when you buy that day? It don't happen to them now. You don't finish. Everything's fighting. Because what? Economic situation. So this can cause anger. So it comes so adequate ventilation, and you're asking your partner something at that time when it's very hot. What will happen? Anger. Heat, environmental factor. They cause people they just sometimes go just say misbehave, woman fire binu. So all these factors are there. TV might shrink you. You have a very small space and too many people are going to stay there. Maybe in 1 or 2 rooms. You have many children, more than 5. Since they cause anger, so when you look at some things, this infrastructure is not there, so those are environmental factor.
No.
So what that cause anger between couples? Okay, deprivation. These are 2 deprivation. They pay in Timofe or for me. Timofe they cause anger. Because like I've told you, anger is a reaction to something. Something brings anger. That something cause them. Emotional. It's a spirit of the emotion which you have that time. It's emotional. So when you are deprived, a woman, if he does not give her sex, we don't discuss that one last time, Abby. If a man promise his wife, I will give you for night they talk about after they eat finish you, I will give you this one the morning tomorrow. XYZ. If for night the man call the wife, say, oh yeah, make we play now, and the woman refuse. In the morning, the man won't call go and say, what did you talk yesterday? What will happen?
No show. No show with that.
Well, what do you call them?
No show.
No show. No show now because you don't deprive them. That deprivation. The part of the woman too. What a woman wants from a man is what? Care. We don't talk about before. What a man wants from a woman is respect. What a woman wants from a man is care and affection. So if the man is not caring enough, I want this, you don't give him. I want this, you don't give him. What will happen? The woman too will be reactive. Are you back? The woman will be reactive most of the time. So it's because anger. You don't come my bill. Why are you? What a man wants from a woman is not what a woman wants from a man. They are different. Their priorities are different. So if you don't get the priorities right, what will happen? There will always be anger, a reaction to that anger. So all this is the cause anger in the relationship, marriage. They go there. In most cases, we have transfer of aggression. Transfer of aggression.
Yeah.
Somebody's coming from maybe just like you've said this morning, your car had an issue.
No.
Your car just had an issue now, and you are just somebody just came now. So, Oloko, ask you, my friend, get away from here. It's not you don't want to do because you have something is already bothering you. You want to do this oleshe, salawomoto, salogokada, all those things. You're already, what do you call it? Almost frustrated. From work, maybe from his boss or from our boss, or the traffic or the fuel situation. You have to stay so long to queue for fuel. You now come, somebody just said, and in the process, somebody bash your car or somebody hit you or somebody abuse you. You now come, somebody ask you something. What will happen? Anger. Transfer of aggression. Because we need to know why is this man getting angry? Why is there issues? Anger is it's natural. It must happen. But how do we manage it is the issue. You have to manage, you want to know what is the cause, what are the causes. So transfer of aggression. 8 challenges. What will happen?
Anger.
Or extended family. Your father is calling, your mother is not feeling well, or somebody is calling you, that one is calling you, and your partner does not know what's happening to you. What will happen? Anger. So your response is not because of this. So that's what. So the same thing is, the environment where you work, your profession too. I'll give you an example. There was a time I remember many years ago. There used to be a woman. She has a block industry. Block industry where they make block, and they make vibrated blocks. So there's a machine, they have to put on the lister engine and then the block making machine. That makes so grrr, grrr, grrr. Each time they vibrate the block, it makes so. And as a baby, it brings that. I said, this baby is going to have hearing problem. It's going to have hearing because it's used to noise from beginning. So when you want to talk to her, you have to shout before you can hear what you are saying. Or somebody that works in a noisy environment, maybe in the market, where they play loud music. Or where you have welders, or you have people fabricators, someone that works there. What will happen? Such people, they will have problem with their partner because they can't hear. You talk to them silently, and that person will be used to shouting when he's talking. When he wants to talk to you in the room, hey, but can't talk to me gently now because he believes you can't hear. It's used to shouting where it's coming from in the market. So when it comes to the work hazard that's one of the dangers of it. So it's good to bring it home. The same thing happen from the husband to the other one too. When it talks to him, okay, we are discussing, just gently talking to him gently. He doesn't hear what you are saying. Kilo so, mi gbọ́ to so. Ṣé kí n máa pariwo ni? Ìjọ sọ̀rọ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ ni. You see, because of that. So all these factors has to be, look into professional, because boredom too. Somebody's bored. So having work, or he's just at home, or nobody to talk to him, everything. It causes hunger. Don't feel dejected, feel unwanted, you don't talk to. All these factors that I've listed are some of the factors that can cause anger. So knowing them, now we now know how do we deal with them. So
thank you so much, Jazakumullah khairan, Ya Sheikh Daoud Adelakon. Inshallah, we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll proceed on how to manage anger in marriage. Just stay tuned.
Sending me you, my love. You finally want to stay with me. And there's a couple words I wanna say for the rest of my life. I'll be with you, I'll stay by your side, honest and true to the end of my time. I'll be loving you for the rest of my life, through days and nights. I thank God for opening my eyes, now and forever. That's all we do. You're my wife and my friend and my strength, and I pray together and now I found myself.
You're welcome back to Your Marriage with Sheikh Daoud Adelako, and we've been discussing anger management in marriage. Do not forget that this is reaching out to you live from Lights Radio, your source for knowledge. You can join us on our various social media platforms. You can watch our live stream on Lights Radio on YouTube, Lights Radio on Facebook, the Lights Radio on Twitter, at gmail.com. You can also listen to us via the Radio Guardian app. All you simply need to do is download the Radio Guardian app via the Google Play Store for Android, or simply download our app, that is the Lights Radio app, on www.lightsradio.com. To be a part of this conversation, you can also call 0809 738 4000, alternatively 0809 732 4000. And now we shall proceed to our
expression. How do you express
exactly
it? So how do you express anger? Anger is expressed in different ways.
No.
Like we have said, we know the triggers, what causes them, but expressed in different ways. You see, like I've said, anger is natural. It must be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But there are basically two ways in which it's done. Some are confrontational. We have confrontational and we have correctional. Confrontational is such that there's some partners, they always look for faults in each other. You don't know how. So confrontational, that one is a bad one. There are good angers and there are bad angers. Angers is natural, must be there. It's a way of correcting some wrong things sometimes. So the message of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is got to get angry too, but he only gets angry when it comes to the matter of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he wants to correct things, he gets angry. Let me give an example of the message of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taken one day. That suppose, let me just put in a mundane way. You have a child, your son is going to school,
No.
and maybe you gave him, maybe it's a nursery, a boy of maybe 5-10 years, okay. Right? The boy goes to school, he comes back home, he say, oh, where's my change? He said, I finished it. I bought ice cream, I bought chocolate, I bought sweets, I bought candies, I bought this, I bought that. He finished the money. How will he react?
Angrily.
Now same boy, it's time for Salat. You're going to Zuhr Salat, say, oh, I'm going to Zuhr, join me in the mosque. The boy was playing football with his friends. You went to the mosque, you came back, maybe you stayed in the mosque till Asr. After the Asr prayer, you now came back. This boy is still playing football. He has not left what he's doing. What will be your action now?
Anger.
How do you express the two angers? Be sincere now. The two angers, how do you express it? The first one or this one?
Okay, so the expression of the anger, are we looking at it from how it ought to be or how it naturally comes
How
to?
does it come from you?
Oh, it's very severe type of anger.
Which
because,
one is going to be more severe among the two?
well, being human, I think not being prudent with
That's
money.
it.
Exactly.
That is it. That is it. Your anger is going to be more because it's your money, it's wasting, it's not being prudent. But that of what Messenger of Allah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not be so much there. He will get angry more because of the rights of Allah. We are not doing what is right. This is your Lord, your life depend upon. Worship Allah, do the right thing. So it's when you don't do what Allah has commanded, he gets annoyed. When it's mundane things, it's lesser with that one. So some people, they just look for faults, and when it comes to the right of Allah, they're lackadaisical about it. Whether your wife prays, doesn't care. But if he wastes his money, if he buys food, as this was supposed to last for a month or two, for a week or so, and finish in 2 days, it's a problem. If he does not pray, it's not a problem. So anger is permissible in Islam when it is to correctional in the ways of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prudence is part of it too. Correctional. So confrontational anger is not good. That most of the times it leads to fighting, it leads to oppression, it leads to enmity between couples. But correctional anger is good. You can get angry to correct issues, but that correctional too, you have to do it with senses. We are going to come to that. How do you correct things? It's very, very important. So anger can be confrontational and it can be correctional. Confrontational is not good because the things, but correctional is permissible in Islam to get angry. So you must get angry with your child when he's doing something that's wrong to correct him. With your spouse when he's doing something wrong to correct him. But you have to understand the mistake people make is that you are thinking your wife is like your child. Your wife is not your child, and your husband is not your son, and it's not your father, your mother. They are partners. You are couples. We have passive aggression. When it comes, sometimes you just agree, you not just nagging, just be nagging. You see some couples, they will not talk. Yes, what you, he's there now, it's not there now. You just the passive expression, the passive, by being passive about the expression, they don't force out, they don't fight out, but they have cold shoulder. You know, cold shoulder. Maybe you do that sometimes now.
Yes.
You just cold shoulder. Don't want bed now, not good now. She will get to learn now. What if she be fairly well? Do that. That's not permissible. Then you have assertive one, when you want to be given command. Yes, this is what is right. Let us do this way. Let's do the compression. So these are the ways of expressing anger. Now this anger build up. The stages of anger. Angers have stages. Before it's actually boomerang. That's the stages. It's good to there's a good to be a build up. There's a build up stage. I want to do this. Like when couples just marry, they are trying to understand themselves. And that is why it's important to address issues rather than trying to be too emotional about it. So it builds up. You do something I don't like, you just keep quiet. You do this one, you just keep quiet. That one, you get quiet. So you just, the thing is building up. It's building up. So you are stomaching it, the other one is stomaching it. And they're just carrying on. It calls you, answer, because answer you. Well, take it now. You want this? Okay, take it, no problem. Take it, no problem. But it's just something you don't like. But what is building up? There's going to be a spark. Something's going to trigger it one day. Just like when your cup, they say your cup is full now. You have been building up, condoning it. After time, there will be a spark. Maybe you just do something, you just call him to bed or just ask something. So, you did this one. That will spark without be what? That spark without trigger the whole thing. The way there's a spark, what will happen? Explosion. Isn't it? When you have been putting firewood, and you put petrol, you put in it. You know, if there's no fire, that will happen. But just have a spark, what will happen?
Explosion.
Explosion happen. That's the third stage of anger. The first was build up. So when it's build up, then there must be a spark. When there's a spark, then there's the explosion. Then when there's explosion, then what happens? Aftermath. The consequences. Either it breaks the relationship, or it caused a permanent scar that forever that scar will be there. Sometimes it happens in the first year of marriage. So the second year of marriage, that's what I've discussed. So you can stay 30 years in marriage, this time will still be there. We still refer to it, remember it. That's scar. But what happens is because you have allowed it to build up, you have allowed the spark to come, and you have allowed the spirit to take place, that is going to be aftermath. So these are the stages of anger. So inshallah, take this question you want to say now. Next week we're going to discuss how to handle each and every one. How do we manage anger in a relationship? Anger must be there and they must be managed. So how do we manage them? So that this thing does not cause, it does not lead to explosion and does not have evil consequences in relationship.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Daoud Adelakon. We will take some comments now on Facebook. We have a comment from Ma'lufa Titilokba Ibrahim, who states that self-control is very key here. May Allah Azza wa Jalla ease all our affairs. She also states that correction, anger must be done with diplomacy, patience, and respect. We have a question who states that this is from Jilmo Ibrahim, who states what happens in the case where both couples, I believe he wants to write here, both couples have anger issues.
Yeah, we are good. That is what we are saying. It's always good to avoid such a relationship in the first instance. It's always good to avoid. That's why we talk of the compatibility. One of the compatibility in that situation is that it's not good for a person that has anger issue to marry someone that has also anger issue. You can't change your partner. You can only work on yourself. You don't have anger issue. My wife has anger issue. So work on yourself that I want to change. I understand I have this problem. So how do I do this problem? It's like you have it because anger sometimes is a disease. Anger sometimes is a disease. Sometimes it needs therapy. It needs medicine. You need to see psychologists or therapists to address you that what you are doing is not right. Each time you whatever you have, the only part that's right, the other person is wrong. It becomes a disease. That you are the only that's always right. It becomes a disease. So if both of you have such a disease, you need to see, just like when you are sick, you go and see a doctor. You need to see a therapist, a psychologist, or a sociologist to talk to you and tell you this, you have anger issue. And this is the only way to handle it. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself. And you see most of people that have anger issues, they have health issues too. It's going to develop high blood pressure. They will develop high blood pressure, they will become hypertension. From getting over you, because it's madness. It's like a madness. When anger gets over you, become like a mad person. So you misbehave, you lose your senses at that time. You just act on impulse, and that's what Ali bin Abi Talib said. What a wise man will do first is what a foolish man will do last. A wise man, when something happens, what does he do? He's patient. He's calculative. He knows, okay, it has happened. What do we do now? But a foolish man will react on impulse. Just shouting. And in most cases, that's what women do. That is why a man was more patient than women. Women react to emotions. Their senses, the two open at the same time. Out of men, one should open, that should close. Because I'm thinking of the consequence of what you do. Sometimes it could be the male that has anger issue. Sometimes it could be the female. Like I've said, all this has to do with hereditary. Sometimes to do with nature. Sometimes to do with environment, where they are brought up. If a woman is brought up from a home where the mother or people don't take anything for, nobody take any salt. If you give, I'll give you back. That's the way they settle their area where it comes from. It's good to have that issue. But the time you have started talking, it's not just say you meet somebody today, you marry tomorrow. No. You still study, you may not have privacy, but you'll be talking. You'll be going, especially these days when you meet universities or you sometimes even go out together, everything. When you have somebody that maybe you have somebody that's you want to marry, everything, you have a course to go and attend a lecture or to go anywhere. Maybe the other man is driving and somebody drove wrong for him and they say, "Oh shit, any and the back, he came out, he opened the shirt." You have to know this kind of person is violent. Such a person don't marry him. Or somebody wants to buy something, she's pricing it. So okay, 20 naira, 40 naira, so it's 100 naira, 500 naira. What's that? Start abusing. From the way she's behaving, you should know the kind of person it's going to be. So all these kind of things, you have to study yourselves. So because it goes beyond that, she's beautiful, she's handsome, she's this, she's that, she has it goes beyond that. It's attitudinal. The job of certificate is just to give you a job, isn't it? You have you have first class, you have everything. So you have your good CV. They will give you a job. Is that going to give you a job for you? No. Will you give me the job? No, it's attitude now. The same thing is beauty. Somebody's beautiful, somebody's awesome. That only give you a partner. But then also keep the home. It's attitude now. About the attitude is anger management. If you can't anger it, you can't manage. There must be. How do you handle it? So if you know you have anger issue and your partner too has anger issue, two of you should try to see therapist. But you that you know now, that you're a man now, work on yourself. I have this issue. What are the triggers? What are the things that causes it? First you must discuss it. Having discussed it, explain that, you say, oh, this person may not be able to change, let me change. Then when you change, the other person will change. When you change, the other person will change. Cause and effect. But if you don't change, the other person will not change. To change the other person, you have to change. You can't stand where you are. That plays out in different ways. So Allah Alam.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. Another comment from Ma'rufa Titi Lokba Ibrahim states that you can never be right always. It takes two to tango. So we should check ourselves too. Projected aggression isn't good at all.
Of course. Yes. You have to protect your aggression. This tendency to behave, and the animalistic tendency is there in any human being. The Messenger of Allah said every human being has shaitan. As a Korean, as a companion among the jinn, that makes him to be aggressive, to be able to behave rudely sometimes. Everybody has it. But I have it too. They say, do you have it? I have it too. But Allah has given you power to suppress it. So everybody must work on suppressing that. That's what you call even Islam. What is Islam? La yu'minadukum ati yakuna wa tab'a lima jitu bi. None of you is a true believer until you can subjugate your personal desires to what I've come with. So I believe to suppress those personal desires, what is called Islam. What I like, what I do, but Allah says I don't like this, so you drop it. The same thing in relationship, in marriage. Oh, this is what I like naturally, but my partner does not love it. So something I can do without. So you leave it. So it's give and take. You must drop something, you must put something on the table. You can't have it all. You can't eat your cake and have it. You drop something.
We'll take this final question from Tajuddin Bello, who states that my wife often says the opposite of what she intends.
Okay.
And oftentimes when I seem not to understand or not to give her what she didn't present to me as what she wants, she gets upset. How do we manage that?
I don't understand. I don't get the question, please.
Okay, so I guess this is what he's trying to say is oftentimes, and I think this is what's generally obtainable in females, I might be wrong, I stand to be corrected, is oftentimes his wife she says the opposite of what she wants. For example, she might want something and she wouldn't want to come direct to say she wants it.
Yes.
So oftentimes he doesn't get that message, or at times he might even get it, but pretend as if he doesn't know
What is talking about?
what she's talking about.
Yes.
And because he wants her to come directly, so she doesn't come directly, and she gets annoyed from the fact that she's not able to come
understand.
directly.
So that is what called communication. When you come to communication
Communication gap.
in marriage, so you have to have a communication gap because there must be communication must be effective. It's coding and decoding. What I'm coding, you should be able to decode it. If I don't understand your terms, there's no way I can communicate with you. So couples must understand, okay, this is the way. That is why I say even fatwa is not static. You see, it's dynamic. The way I talk to my wife may be different the way you talk to your wife. The language I use may be different from the language she uses. Of course, that's a common one among all of them. So I must understand, what she means. And sometimes you need to discuss it when you are in happy mood. You have to make her understand. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé tí bá ṣe báyìí nǹkan tó bí ní tí bá ṣe báyìí, because Yorùbá sọ wípé aṣọ ti àrọ̀ ló ń jẹ́ ọmọ mi gbẹ́dọ̀. You understand what I mean now? I just do like this. If I'm not told I've kept something, they bring it. If I just go to bring. So it's important for you to understand each other's language. Each couple must have their own code. They must have that. If you are 4-5 here, if you talk to your wife, I may not know what you're talking, but if she understand, I may not understand. There should be a secret A man must learn to be wise enough to understand that, okay, this is what they mean. It's part of, communication strategy. How to communicate with my wife. This is what it means. So, dealing with women too, you must understand the way they answer some things. It's like even in relationship too, a woman may find it difficult to say, my husband, I want you on the bed.
The what?
My husband, I want you on the bed. A woman some people don't say to their husband. But they can say with their eyes. They can say with their legs. So if the man doesn't understand it, so you have to understand the language. Because communication is not about only what you say. We're going to discuss communication. It's not even what it's about 50% of what you say. It's more of the action, how you say it, the action, the expression, the body language, and the way it is being said. It's more than what you have just said. That word is very small. But how did you say it? When did you say it? So the body language actually counts a lot in communication. So that's why it differs from individuals.
Perhaps this is where action speaks louder than
The voice.
than the voice or the words. And to wrap this up, Ma'arufa Titaqwe, thanks a lot for your loads of comments. She states that no marriage without communication. This is absolutely correct.
Yes.
So inshallah, we shall look at the management of anger
inshallah.
in marriage.
Inshallah. The Islamic approach and the Muslim approach to marriage. Inshallah.
Thank you so much, Sheikh, for this insightful piece. We do hope we've been able rather to pass across additional knowledge to everyone listening at the various places about how to anger and around looking at the angles through which we can handle anger in marriage. You want to give your path, Sheikh?
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity has granted us this morning to discuss this important issue. Brothers and sisters, yes, anger is important in marriage. It's a necessity. Don't say everybody must get angry, but you angry correctly. It should be a correctional and not confrontational anger. You see things that's not good, you must correct it. The Messenger of Allah said, إِذَا رَأَى مِنكُمُ الْمُنكَرَ فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه ومن يستطع فبقلبه فذلك أضعف الإيمان. If any of you sees a thing that is tasteful, that is not good enough, you should make an attempt to change it. Change it with your hand. If you cannot, then with your tongue, your mouth. If you cannot, then with your heart. That is the weakness of faith. So anger is like correcting things that it is not right enough in marriage. So, but it should be done rightly. So a right anger is permissible in Islam, but a wrong anger is not. One that does not even get angry at all is not a complete human being. A human being must get what pleases him and what does not please him. So, but you should do it correctly. Your partner in progress. We have all come together to work in this world to help the hereafter. May Allah make our family to be a in peace and harmony, and give us the resources to be able to sustain the bliss in our homes. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Do join us again sometime next week. My name remains Abdul Rahim Oloko. Masalam.